Hello everybody, Imminent Storm here. Welcome back to Kerbal Space program. In the last episode, we got our crew off the surface of Duna and got them rendezvoused back up with the ballista. And then headed on over to Ike, landed there, did our science experiments, and got them back to the mothership again as well. And so all of our scientific efforts in the Duna system are now complete for that particular mission. And so they are ready to begin their journey back home to Kerbin. So that is the next kind of thing we need to do there. And so, to that end, I did go ahead and advance time a bit more to accomplish two things. One, we should be very close to the transfer window for Duna to return to Kerbin. Yeah, we're pretty close. We're still about 100 days away, give or take. So there's that. And also, I got the Arbalest to its maneuver to begin rendezvousing with Jool. So that now has gone through its maneuver, and it should be on course to rendezvous with Jool. And I think that's the first thing that we're going to go take a look at, because I think there's another small set of maneuvers that we're going to need to make there to kind of fine-tune our approach to Jool. So I wanted to go ahead and do that live here. So we're going to be switching over to the Arbalest. Uranium processor probe. Well, the other thing that I did do was I detached a lot of the unneeded empty containers from the ballista and crashed them into Ike. So that has shed some mass from that vehicle, so that'll help a little bit. And also I detached the Duna lander as well, because we don't need to bring the lander back, because I've already removed all the experimental data and stored it on board the ballista itself. And we're going to try and process as much of that as we can through the lab on board. And even if all of that data isn't actually finished processing by the time we get back to Kerbin, what I'm probably going to do is bring up like a skeleton crew, like maybe one or two Kerbals, and bring the the current crew back home, bring up a skeleton crew to replace them, to just continue the processing going on in the lab, and to fly the vehicle on over to the Kerbalon 1 station to refuel and prepare for the next mission. So here we are with the Arbalest, and I don't need that or that. And if we take a look at our trajectory here, what are we looking at? We have our rendezvous there with Jool. All right, so let's go ahead and switch focus here to Jool. There we are. And we can see we are getting a rendezvous, but we are way, way off. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is we're going to turn on the RCS thrusters, and I'm going to start giving it some little nudges, and we'll see what they do. Let's do... That doesn't seem to do anything. Okay, what about this? Okay. It looks like we're going to need to do something a bit more aggressive than RCS. Okay. That's fine. So we're actually probably have to put in a full maneuver node here. Let's set it to 10 days from now. That's fine. Add that maneuver. And let's see what we get. Okay, so if we do that, that's the wrong direction. I want it to come down. Good. If we slow down, not too much. Okay, so that's not what I want to do there. All right, if we bring... Okay, well... We're going to do some pretty fine maneuvering here. Oh, too much, too much. Okay. It's getting a little better. Okay, there. Oh. Let's get our increments down a little bit. Now, I do want to be coming in from this side, right? Because this is the orbital direction of all the moons. I want to be orbiting in the same direction. So this is the side that I do want to come in on. We're coming down on a polar angle. I mean, that might not be the worst thing. Ooh, that's impact. I don't want impact. .2 meters per second with a periapsis of 3 million meters. I think... Let's just keep kind of working this around. So I want to get that more on plane with the other moons. So just keep on working this around. There we go. That's looking... That's looking a little bit better. Ooh, hold on. There is an interaction that we have over here with Tylo. I don't know if that's something I necessarily want to do. I think that may be our best option right there. Maybe I can get that a little bit closer. Ooh, what was that? Okay, but no idea what that will do. To our resultant trajectory. So maybe we'll just keep something like that, and then once we're actually in the system, we can start making further adjustments to see if we might be able to get an interaction. Maybe, you know, use some gravitational maneuvers to slow us down, as opposed to just raw, you know, raw delta V burns. Alright, so that's going to be 432.3 meters per second in 10 days, 1 hour, and 39 minutes. It's going to be a 3 minute, and 12-second burn. Alright. Let's go ahead and get this guy pointed toward that maneuver, and then we'll go ahead and run that. The reactors are on. All right, we have 9,013 meters per second in delta V. It should be fine. Let's let that maneuver do its thing. Oh, I need to check what the life support status is, especially for the Kerbal on 1 station, and it's got 1 year, 179 days of life support on board. I might want to think about swapping out the crew with a new crew. It's a thought. It's a thought. It does need a crew to operate the mining vehicle. So we will need at least a pilot, a scientist, and another. Yeah, we'll need at least 3 crew there, pretty much constantly. All right, we're almost aligned. And how long is it going to be till we enter the 2 years, 378 days. Okay, so yeah. Let's go ahead and tell it to execute the node. And hopefully it gets close to where it needs to be here. All right, there's the auto warp kicking in. All right. Engines are on. I'll get this down there. And I'll be back once the maneuver's almost done. All right, we're just about done. We've got a few more meters per second to get through, and the trajectory is looking good. Yeah, it's best to do this now because small changes done now will have much larger impacts further out, so it'll ultimately save us some delta V. And there we are. Not exact, but close enough. No, I might actually get... Yep, very close. All right, excellent. So with that, I don't think we're going to need the engines for a while yet. So we can shut the reactors off. And let the vehicle coast for a little bit. So for now, what we're going to do is we're going to head on over to Ike. And we're going to switch on over to the ballista and begin preparing to exit the Duna system. and begin returning to Kerbin. All right, so let's get these reactors up and running. Apparently, I have a gravity scan that I can do and transmit. I'll just transmit the rest of this stuff. And I'll take it. Okay, let's see. How are we doing as far as data? We have 168.5 science built up. Go ahead and transmit that back home. Might as well clean the experiments as well. Alright, let's see. Where are we located? Actually, Ike is in a pretty decent spot. So, if we started a maneuver here, that'll get us to escape in a pretty good trajectory. Let's see, if I were to... I want to try and keep it on plane if I can. That's good enough, I think. 76 meters per second. That will definitely do. Alright, let's start pointing us toward that maneuver. And then we'll get this guy moving. Yeah, as you can see, I got rid of the material kits boxes. I got rid of the containers for the extra fuel for the lander, since we don't need that anymore, and we got rid of the lander. This thing's basically got to flip all the way around almost. We also have the supplies pack, and very interesting is we actually used very little supply. In fact, we're still full up for the most part. So we've still got 6 years worth of supplies on board. Same thing for the Arbalest. It's used hardly anything. Kerbal on 1 station though, still consuming supplies. So that's going to need some resupply efforts. Either that or I'm going to have to get it a different hydroponics module. just about on target. Gonna tell this guy to execute the node. He's got over 11,000 meters per second of delta V on board. Just gotta wait for it to get proper alignment. Auto warp is on, right? Yeah, it is. Okay. The auto warp tolerance is like... There we go. Wants us to run some more experiments. The gravity scan, I'll go ahead and transmit. Plant growth experiment, transmit it. Sure. Another gravity scan. Send it. I actually should have reset that rather than kept it. But that's all right. I just gotta find where the gravity scanner is. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong module. There it is. Review the data, discard it, reset the experiment. There we go. Are we good enough? Are we good enough? I think we're good enough. All right, and it's done. Okay, good. Let's go ahead and get us out of the Duna system. It's taking a little while. All right, there we go. Go ahead and finish up that warp. And there we are. Okay. Apparently I can do a gravity scan out here? No. Weird. Okay. Let's take a look at what we've got. Okay. Orbit didn't change all that much. But we need to set Kerbin as the target. And then let's see what our maneuver planner says is a good time to make the transfer orbit. In 154 days, 0 hours, 16 minutes. Do I actually get an encounter? Yes, we actually do get an encounter. Okay. This is going to be a 5-minute long burn in 154 days. I think we can go ahead and go through that. I definitely think we can go ahead and go through that. Because the Arbalest isn't going to get anywhere close. Kerbalon 1 has over a year's worth of supplies left, so this is definitely going to be fine. I'm just going to go ahead and deactivate the reactors. And toggle the reactor control just so that we'll have that. So there's no need to run the reactors for the next 150 days. Reactor control panel. What are the advanced controls on here? Huh. Not sure what that's for. I guess it's if you want to control the reactor temperature. But no, we basically need the reactors operating at maximum output in order to make our engines work. And I am pretty glad that I put 4 on here rather than 2, which was the original plan, even though it did increase the mass. Alright, looks like we're aligned pretty well. So go ahead and execute the node. Just gonna make sure that I turn the reactors on right as we get there. Let's see where we are on the map. All right, we're just about there. We're a day out. Go ahead and fire up our reactors. And there we go. And so now we got 5 minutes. Well, probably longer than 5 minutes. Probably closer to 10 real time. For this maneuver to complete. So again, what I'll do is go ahead and pause, and I'll be back once it's just about done. Alright, just about through. 30 meters per second left to go. So let's go ahead and head on over to Kerbin. And it looks like if the maneuver pans out exactly as planned, it is going to yield an impact trajectory. Oh, we're actually going to interact with the moon. That's very interesting. That is very interesting. Because I am going to need to head there at some point. Alright, well, let's turn on the RCS. Whoa, what are you doing? Turn off the reactors. Can you stop? So we come in like this. So you're trying to get it into the plane as much as I can. To impact. I don't want it to impact. That looks. Ooh, that is a very, very close pass. Oh, the closer the pass, the better. Alright. There we are. And when is that going to happen? 232 days, 4 hours, 37 minutes. How much time does the Kerbal on 1 station have? 1 year, 3 days. Okay. The Arbalest won't be interacting with Joule for like another 2 years, right? So this could work. The only concern is going to be the science accumulated. Yeah, because we're at 500 now. Transmit that science. That's a lot of data to transmit. Oh, halfway through. Because then what I can do... Actually, let me go ahead and clean those experiments as well while we're working on it. Now, it says I have a gravity scan I can do. No, I don't, actually. I don't know why it keeps saying it. Well, I mean, we can transmit that back. I have 2 antennas, so... Plant growth experiment. I could keep these and send that back with the with the return vessel that comes up here to grab the crew. All right, but all that data has now been transmitted. There is one more experiment that I can review here. Still not enough room for the data, so we'll keep it. That's a gravity scan from Duna's Lowlands. Keep that experiment. Alright, so the other thing I need to do is check... the station here. Well, let's switch to the Mun. Where are we at? There we are. Switch to that. And this will take a minute. Because probably the science lab over here is probably full up as well. Let's see. Not quite. I'll go ahead and transmit the science anyway. Looks like I have data to review here. Temperature scan. This can hold 750 data. Go ahead and put that in. This one can't do anything with. That one can't do anything with. Yeah. When I exchange the crew, I'm going to have to bring a lot of that home. Oh, there we go. There's another one I can throw in there. Do it. Okay, so there you are. Switch back to this. And then let's go ahead and advance this all the way to Kerbin. I don't see why we can't. But I may have to stop kind of in the middle to transmit more processed science home. Alright, so if I go out to like here, warp there. I'm really curious to see how this is gonna play out with this moon encounter. But I do need to get into low Kerbin orbit first so that I can get the crew exchanged. Yep, just about full. Transmit the research. And then, can I stick this data in there yet? I can. Let me just do a little bit of time warp there. Alright, done. It's another 500 science back home. Let's get out to about there. Yeah, pretty much then once this thing is back home, the next thing I need to do is deal with the station. Get the crew exchanged, bring home all that, all those experiments that I can't process, and get some more supplies onto the station. So that's going to be a bit of a project. Probably do a lot of that off screen. Transmit the science. All right, done. All right, let's get to right before encounter. Wonder why it's not moving as fast as it should. There we go. I'll just do it manually then. Let's get through the encounter there. All right, good. What's it saying that I can do? A gravity scan? Apparently. Sure, throw it in the lab and transmit one home. All right, so let's just check and see how much more we got processed. It's full up again. All right. So next thing I need to do is get it down to here. All right, so that's going to be the resultant orbit. All right, let's cross into the moon's sphere of influence. Oh. Okay. So. Now we're going to add a maneuver. Let's see how much of a maneuver I need to make to get into a captured orbit. See, that's the thing, is it's not actually going to... Ah, there's a captured orbit. 600 meters per second. How much of a maneuver would I have to make here to get a resultant capture? Well, 700 meters per second. be at 2 million. So it probably would actually be best just wait and do the maneuver here, but this is kind of helping us reposition a little bit, improving our plane. So that's good. Yeah, it works. Alright, so we'll warp there. Swing around the moon. And there we are. Go ahead and tell this guy to orient to our maneuver here. Actually, what I probably want to do is adjust the maneuver node. To bring the periapsis down to where I'm ultimately going to want it. Which is going to be around 180. Should be fine. Yeah, we'll do that. This is going to be a longish burn. 7 minutes. (1100 meters per second). We've got 10,000 in the tank, so no issues there. Alright, so what I might go ahead and do here, because this is going to take a little while, is go ahead and take care of this maneuver. Again, I'll pause and be back once we are all, well, almost done here. Oh, one thing I need to do is make sure that we turn our reactors back on. And there we are. Okay. So yeah, I'll go ahead and take care of this. And once we're done with that, I'll be back. Alright, we're just about done. Our maneuver here. So we've captured, and we're just trying to get that periapsis down to our parking orbit, where we're going to sit the vehicle. And get ready to exchange crew, which is probably not going to be done today. Alright, how actually are we doing here? We've only got 9 science on board. Okay, so that should be fine. So the last thing we'll need to do is circularize this. And then that will be good. And then what we'll probably do is I'll take care of the station off screen for probably exchanging that crew, getting it resupplied. And then for next time, we'll get this vehicle's crew swapped out, get this guy moved over to the station, and get ready to fuel it back up and ready for the next project, which we'll figure out what that's going to be. Alright, but for now, we're going to go ahead and do a circularization. Create node. Alright, so this guy's probably going to flip around 180 degrees. How much monopropellant do we have on board? 2,000 units? I might want to save that. I thought maybe I'd just use it to get this flip done a little bit quicker. But if I am going to bring this over to the Kerbal 1 station and dock it, I'm going to need that monopropellant. Alright, so let me just double check everybody. 196 days. Yeah, that's going to have to be dealt with soon. And the Arbalest is there. It's out past the orbit of Dres at this point. And we are going to need a landing mission to Elu at some point. So let me actually just run through while this thing is doing its business. Eve de Moho, or Kerbal de Moho, that's really soon. But I believe we've already landed on Moho before. Kerbal to Eve. We got a ways out before we have a good transfer window for that. We're talking, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 600 days. 600 days plus or minus. Duna, we just went through, so that's not anytime soon. Jewel, we've already got someone going there. Dres will be relatively soon, a couple hundred days out. So maybe we'll plan something there. So I think a couple hundred days will work to get this vehicle refueled, get a lander docked with it, get a crew on board, and get it back out there. So that could work. And what about Elu? Actually, not that far off. About 350 days, give or take. Total delta V, 3,500 meters per second. So I had to pick one or the other, Dres or Elu. We've never been to Dres. We haven't even done a flyby at Dres yet. So that might be the next objective. Alright, let's tell this guy to execute the node. And what are we looking at as far as delta V's? 3,000. Travel time is going to be a little over a year. Okay, so this guy with like 6 years, we barely used up our supplies at all. Thanks to that hydroponics module. And we've got supplies and mulch. We've got plenty of fertilizer. So yeah, that's not something we would need to worry about too much. Oh, hold on. Abort, abort, abort. I chose the wrong thing here. We need to do at the periapsis. There we go. Ooh, those guys are warm. Glad I caught that, or that would have been irritating. There we go. Execute the next node. There we go. So this is going to be 3.5 minutes. But probably actually quite a bit longer than that, as usual. So, I'll be back again when that's done. Alright, we're just about done circularization. Here we get this parked up. Then we'll shut the reactors down and get ready for the next operation for this vehicle. Alright, apoapsis, periapsis is good enough. Alright, there we are, stabilize. And shut down reactors. Let's see. These are the nuclear fuel drums. What is the other? Nope. Is it something that I can do? Enriched uranium? Yes. Transfer. I guess I can't. Interesting. Can't move the nuclear fuel around. Oh, there we go. Transfer fuel. Left click apart to transfer. Okay. Transfer waste. It must be below how much? 450 Kelvin transfer. Okay. Oh, we'll have to wait till the reactors cool down, and then we can transfer everything around. Which is fine. It's perfectly fine. I'll probably worry about that when I get back over to the Kerbal station. And then I can use the nuclear fuel processor there to reprocess the waste. All right. So, I think we're good for today. We'll go ahead and stop here. And yeah, next time we'll be probably working on getting this guy set up for the next mission. And maybe seeing what we can do with the Arbalest. See if they can get out the Joule or not. But we'll work all that out for next episode. So for now, hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment. And I will see you next time.